Hello and welcome to IGManagerTV Quick E for February 28th, 2013, called Walking Dead Items. You're not going to see a picture of me today because we just changed the webcam thingy and Bertha's having some issues, so we're just going to do a video and some audio. Alright, so what we're talking about with The Walking Dead, we're looking for dead items or items with no movement. They can obviously make your file expand to ungodly sizes, over 100,000, when you really only have maybe 28,000 individual UPCs in the store at any one time. IGManager has three methods to get this information. We have one called the Dead Item Report, the next one which we use the Item Find feature in the Item Maintenance to find the dead items. And then we have the last one we're going to talk about is a Quick Dead Report. Alright. First, what we do is the dead item report. This is the bluntest tool of the dead items. Reports, as the screen says, reports items which have the last sale date prior to the given date. All right, the way you get to the dead item report is you go to Reports, Status Reports, and then over here on the right, the dead items. Get this screen here. Basically, it says the report's going to do exactly what I said it was going to do. Report items with the last sale date before, and then there's a date. Now it says ghosts and pending deletes will be ignored. Remember, items that have been deleted from the point of sale but are still in IGManager are called ghosts. So we don't need to report those because they're already pulled out. Pending deletes, there's no reason to report them because you're already getting ready to delete them. So we go ahead and say report, and we get a choice just like everything else in range options. We can limit this down to certain things. I'm going to leave it as all, and then you can get the dead item report. Now, this can become a very evil size report. When I ran it on some test data I ended up with 2,500 pages. And what you'll see out of the report, you'll see the items, the last sale date, and you'll just have this is page 30 of the report. This was page 2005 of the report. You can see how this could get kind of long very quickly. The item find method, which is the second one we're going to talk about, it gives you a little bit more control over what you want to report. With the item find method, you're going to be looking for obviously for the last sale date, and you're going to use less than or before. Anything else you want to do is up to use. And one thing you may want to include is the last change date. I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, this is what I'm actually going to show as I just walk through the PowerPoint. I go to item find. I'm going to do a new search. I'm going to look here through my list. Last sale date is before January 1st, 2013, and I'm going to say that the POS description contains the letters CAT. Next. So I can see here I'm finished. It tells you what my settings are here. Next. Goes through, scans the item file, and hopefully with Bertha, and there they all are. So back to my PowerPoint. Oops. There we go. So you see here's what it looked like. Here's my last sale date before. Description contains cat. Here's the list of items. I remember you can print this or send it to file. Of course, the print looks just like the item find always does. And here's a little example of what the CSV looks like. Now I mentioned you might want to use. Alright, let's get to the right one here. You might want to use the last change date, because you could have an item that you just put in last week and it may not have sold yet. You may not even have received it in the store yet if you're getting hosted. So what you might also want to include is that items that haven't sold since day X, but I haven't touched in item maintenance or updated from the host in 6 months. So that means not only haven't sold it, you haven't done any pricing changes to it in the last 6 months. So that tells you it's probably definitely a dead item. Which leads me right into the last report that we have called Quick Dead Report. And I'm going to be bad and just read the screen to you. It breaks down the last sale dates. It allows you to the neat thing about the Quick Dead Report is not only does it let you see, this one doesn't let you look at the items, this one sets them to delete. And of course we can limit by department in this method. So you get here from the same way, you go reports, item status reports, this time to the quick dead items. You're going to get this lovely black screen. And, you know, dead items, black screen, ha ha ha. Okay, so on here we have a couple of things. One, we have this little dot 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 button here, which will let me change this from all departments to a single department. Once I got that set, I run scan the file. And it will scan through, and what it's going to do is going to show me the number of items with the last sale date in these ranges. You know, the last week, last 2 weeks, last month, last 2 months, last 6 months. It was sold more than 6 months ago. So it was sold at some time, but it was sold more than 6 months ago. Oh, is this one? No last sale information. Has never, ever, ever sold. And here's the last one to kind of make your life a little easier. No last sale, meaning it has never sold and has not updated in the past year. These are obviously deadish items. And here you can say set delete. So I can take these items that fit these categories and automatically flag them to delete. Just give you an example of what one of these might look like in a store. Now my data is from a store that didn't exist for a very long time, so we don't have a lot of information, some blocks, but it says right here, in this file, 1,500 items sold. 1,500 UPCs have a last sale date in the last 7 days. In the last 2 weeks, then we have 850 items who sold within from 8 days ago to 2 weeks ago. That's 8 to 14. Then we have from 15 days ago to a month to 2 months. So I could then create 8. It's sold in the last 6 months. It has sold longer than the last 6 months, but has sold at some point in time. There's 2 of them, and of course, no last sale information. 91,000 items. So you can see that this item file is actually sitting somewhere around 100,000. So I could use any of these buttons on the right-hand side to set these items to delete. Now you say, oh my God, but what are they? Not that big of a deal, because remember, when you set an item to delete, you have to wait a preset time period before you're allowed to send the delete down to the IBM and delete it. Well, first of all, why do you ask that? We cover this in some other things, but basically we do that because wholesalers might have sent down a delete because they don't care about the item anymore. You might have 4,000 on the shelf, and if we take that delete and just send it right down, guess what? They're going to not scan, you're going to go, what's going on, and scream and yell. So we have a delay between something set to delete and when it actually deletes. Then, when it actually deletes, we take it out of the point of sale system, so it's no longer down there and it won't scan. But remember, unless we've told the IGManager to do this, a delete doesn't actually remove the item from IGManager's database. It puts all deleted items become ghost items. They exist in the item file, they're hiding in there, but they don't affect the front end, but we still have them. Well, why would we do that? Well, one, we still want to know what it was, just in case we try to find out what its sales were. You know, if it sold 2 months, a year ago, we might want to know about it. 2, sometimes items go away and they come back. Very common to have that happen. So if it disappears, like the wholesaler drops it, so you end up going someplace else, and then later on, the item shows back up, the wholesaler starts selling it again. If we deleted it every time, when that item showed back up, you'd have to key in all the stuff again. In this case, you already have it. Big examples of this are, the Easter candies, the Christmas stuff, all that type of stuff. You can actually delete them so they're no longer in the front end, so they don't scan. They become ghosts, so they don't show up on a lot of reports, but they're still in there for you to grab later on. There is a way to get rid of ghosts completely, and there is a setting to make deletes mean deletes. Both of those are available. Talk to your support personnel about setting that up. All right, so that was our quickie for February 28th, 2013, our Walking Dead items, and have a wonderful day.